So now we're gonna stick it to women. All right, I'm sorry. Part of the issues we do have is women and how they value themselves on a sexual marketplace. I do feel like, we all have our little ways. Being argumentative, I guess you could say, something that I have to work on. And so I'm going to admit to that, right? But I do think women have things to work on too in general, right? So my question for you is, who and what determines a woman's sexual market value?
Well, the market, first of all, and it's not other women, and it's not they themselves. You can quote unquote determine your own value when you plan on dating yourself. Right. So we gotta nix that all together. If you plan on staying alone, then you can rate yourself a 10 out of 10 and cool. But if you're actually planning on doing life with someone else, you actually have to factor in what someone else wants. So when it comes to being a woman who's heterosexual and wants to date men, you have to factor in what the largest pool or percentage of, and generally speaking, what most men are attracted to, want, and say that they want. So if you're not getting the outcomes that you want from men, the externalizer looks outward and points outward and says the problem is the men. The one who's looking more inward, who has a locus of control that looks inward at what's happening in her life and why she's not getting the outcomes that she wants. He's going to be more reflective over things that she may need to change. And there's key areas that I listed in my last episode when I was talking to women, when I said, no, you don't deserve a good man. Your mind, your mouth, your body, your femininity, social influences, and the past. These are all things that men value and look into and pay attention to some degree. And the more in demand a guy is, the more popular he is, the more women want him, the more those things matter. He's going to want to know how you think, because he wants to know who the mother of his child, what she's going to teach his children, what she's going to put before his children. He's going to be monitoring and observing what comes out your mouth and what you say, who you praise, who you idolize, how you speak highly of, and who you don't. He's going to pay attention to your body. So that's obvious, right? But he's also going to be interested in terms of how you treat that body, how you display that body, how many people you give access to that body, and in what ways, both in person and digitally. Femininity goes without saying. And social influences, that's a big one for me, because that's a reflection of what's the loudest, most important voice in your world when you're dealing with that man. Is it social media? Is it Cardi B? Is it what Meg Thee Stallion got to say? Is it Tracy Ellis Ross? Is it the feminists? Is it social media? Is it reality TV? Or is it the man that you say you want to be led by? Whose voice matters the most? And then lastly, the past. And there's varying degrees on what we mean by judgment of the past. Today, in modern America, almost no man is expecting to get a virgin. That ship sail, right? But that doesn't mean that he wants to be with the woman who's been with the whole football team either. So the reality is like, to some degree, the decisions that and for whatever reason, meaning ladies, a lot of them have been convinced that the past is something you can just treat with an eraser and then it no longer exists. Whereas men see the past as a potential reflection of what you're capable of when put into the right or wrong circumstances. That's all that means. And in the same way they can judge us with our future, if they had a crystal ball and you was told as a woman that the guy that's trying to pursue you or the guy that's trying to date you is going to be broke and homeless a year from now, would you still go out with him?
Probably not, yeah.
Probably not. So you're judging him off of a future he hasn't even experienced or done yet. And he's judging you off of what you've actually done in the past.
And they say it's wrong. They say don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the reality is when I use those type of examples, the women that are reasonable will be like, damn, I didn't realize, like, if I'm judging him off of something he hasn't even done yet, it's only fair that he can look at what I've actually done in my life. Yeah, that's how that works. And the beauty of it is it doesn't actually matter what women say about the things that we're judging them off of. We're going to do it regardless of how they feel anyway. And how do they know that? look at your outcomes.
I want to.
Do you have 5 men that's trying to marry you today? If not, then it may be, if you don't have 2 men that's trying to marry you right now, then maybe you aren't what you think you are in the dating market yet.
I want to hold you there because I don't think it's a matter of the amount of men when it comes to women. I think for men, it matters the amount. But for women, it's like if you don't have the men that you would actually consider marrying.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a man that you're like, wow, like if I go with either of these guys, I'll be well off.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
women have options down the road. I was watching
Yep.
how I'm just gonna state this. I'm gonna ask my next question. I was watching your conversation with Pearl, and she's talking about how she knew women on Hinge, obese women on Hinge, who had 5,000 matches. You know what I'm saying? So that you can't conflate that to be, or that can be a representation of your value. You know
it's definitely, if we go into it more, it's not just men by default just because a body's a body. Like you said, it also includes the actual man that you want, and that's rare. That's rare.
Yeah.
For you to have 3, 5, 10 men that you also want to be with pursuing you seriously. That's very rare for them, and they know it. So when you don't even have that, then that's more of, unfortunately, an accurate reflection of the areas I listed. Maybe you're not leveling up in some of those areas like you should.